manufactured viral lead magnets. Okay, unpack that.
Yeah, so I think the big failure at first was doing a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
None of which was actually set up to be a viable business.
Yeah, and if you're under $1 million a year or way under, and you're doing like 6 businesses, that's usually one of the reasons why you're under $1 million a year.
100%. We've hit 2 major stuff points. One was at 600K,
Yeah.
and then one was at about $1.5 million.
What was the bottleneck? NH. It's
Yo.
Taylor.
Taki more.
Welcome to Coaches Getting Coffee.
Thank you.
We're the coaches. Coffee's over there.
Perfect.
So dude, let's start with a quick intro. Who do you work with? What kind of work do you do with them? Just to give people some context.
Yeah, so I help leadership consultants who are looking to prove the impact of their training programs
Right.
to do that. So moving from deliverer of great content to driver of change.
Okay. And so we should jump in here for a second.
Is there room for 2? That's good.
Yeah, no, we've talked about it. We don't want to become the 51st state. Thank you.
It is decided.
That's the hot, you thought the presidential phone was red, it's pink.
Do.
Okay, well that's exciting. And so that's how they prove ROI so they can justify fees.
Yeah, and deepen their relationship. They want to move from being sort of edutainment into trusted advisor and driving business forward, etc.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. What did you do before this?
What didn't I do? There was, I worked for a marketing agency. Yeah. I worked in sales selling knives. Yeah.
Okay.
As you do, Cutco. Yeah, indeed. Ran an office for them for a couple of years.
Uh-huh.
And then a whole bunch of entrepreneurial stuff when I was a kid. So thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything in your background or your growing up that has weaved its way or kind of influenced how you run business now?
I think there's a couple things. I went to film school.
Yeah.
And the thing I love most about
Movie star, good looks.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. No, I was behind the camera. Oh, clearly. No, what I loved about it was a whole bunch of humans getting together to work on a project that none of them could really do on their own.
Yeah.
So that was really attractive to me. So I like the idea of a team dynamic. Yeah. And then I also sort of stumbled into running my own training company for a while, which is where...
Training who about what?
Leadership stuff? Yeah, leadership stuff. So, all right, you want the short version?
Anytime I don't know what it is, I just call it leadership stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like,
leadership,
that's it.
So the short version of a very long story.
Yeah.
I ran this Cutco business.
Yeah.
It went really well.
Yeah.
It went straight to my head. I became fairly insufferable.
Yes.
Then the whole thing fell apart. Yeah. So I'm in my parents' basement licking my wounds, trying to figure out what had happened. And
This is the tropical cyclone Alfred.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I started reading a lot to try to figure out what had happened, and became really obsessed with putting ideas from these books into practice.
Yeah.
So 20 years ago, I was really obsessed with that. How do you take something and shift your behavior based on the thing you read?
Yeah.
Right? So I started writing book summaries. We've now written like 1,100 book summaries.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, it was a whole chapter. People liked them. They started asking me to train on the ideas from these books. So I was like the poor man's Pat Lencioni, Simon Sinek. Like they would call me when they couldn't afford the office handbooks. And so I would do this math.
You're like Pete Lencioni.
Yeah, exactly. And so I would do that, and then that's where I became really frustrated with the fact that people would hire me to do the training. I'd get these great feedback forms, but nothing would have changed. They'd call me to come back and do the same stuff.
Dude, there's some trouble over here. We should do a quick g'day.
Perfect, yeah.
Hey, team.
That's hilarious. How are you, mate? Hi, mate. Hello.
Let's just started doing training.
Yeah.
Became really disappointed with the fact that people wanted me to entertain their people, but not actually drive change.
Yeah.
And so I became obsessed with how do we drive change in corporate training.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Tell me about early failure. Like you just started this new business, Actionable. I'd love to know about like first, like what was hard when you launched?
I didn't have a business model, so kind of important. I was doing this, I felt like if I do the right stuff, then money will follow.
Yeah.
Which is probably true, but you should still, in my opinion, have some idea how you're going to charge for that.
Yeah.
So we're doing all these summaries for free.
I just realized.
Yeah.
We're walking this way and the coffee shop's back there. This guy just walked.
Perfect.
I blame you, but I'm also grateful for you. Let's go to the coffee shop.
Perfect. You can film our backs for the
Yeah, you can film our backs. Or we can walk backwards.
Yeah. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, this is totally natural. Just two guys walking backwards to get a coffee.
Exactly.
It saves us from the wind a tiny bit. Okay, so didn't have a business model, didn't know how to charge for the thing.
Yeah. And I wasn't a guy, so I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Yeah.
So we built a technology company. I started doing some coaching. I was still doing training. So I think the big failure at first was doing a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
None of which was actually set up to be a viable business. And so
That's-
just working a million hours to generate not enough money.
Yeah, and if you're under $1 million a year or way under, and you're doing like 6 businesses, that's usually one of the reasons why you're under $1 million a year.
100%.
Yeah. All right, let's come in here. Okay, and we're going to grab a coffee. What do you have?
I will have a flat white because I'm in Australia.
Nice.
Thank you.
G'day there. Good. Thanks for looking after us today. Welcome inside.
Thank you. You as well.
It's great to be here.
Yeah.
It's less blowy. So early days, business model's a bit messy. Obviously, it takes a while to get traction.
Yeah.
But it's a thing now.
Yep.
What's been
Oh yeah, please, thank you.
Well, yes.
little for me, big for him?
Yep.
You're the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm not staying apparently, so. Yeah. This is your first clue.
In case your visa gets revoked. So then it starts to get traction. Yeah. And now you've got it's a super interesting niche, and it's quite a small niche, but you're well known in the space.
Yeah.
What's been the hardest parts about growing a business in a tight niche?
Yeah. So I think the temptation to do things outside of that tight niche are extremely strong.
Yeah.
We keep getting full. So typically we work with leadership consultants that are doing $500,000 up to about $5 million in annual revenue.
Yeah.
Founder led.
Yeah.
Ton of pull to those that are just getting started. Ton of pull in-house, like into learning and development departments in-house.
Yeah.
And then ton of pull into the global nationals or multinationals.
And so how do you know when it's a good idea versus it's a distraction?
It's a good question. So partially trial and error.
Yeah.
Because Chris likes shiny things. So
Yeah,
go
so you've tried and it was an error.
Yeah. And part of it's been the team are sort of protecting me from myself. So putting a proper EA relationship in place where she's first line filter, putting onboarding coaches in place that feel comfortable saying to me, this is not the right person for us, sort of thing, has been really key.
Yeah.
And then part of it has been, I like exploring creativity and innovation. Like, where can I create something new?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can't relate to that.
Yeah, not at all.
And so the mental check that I could redirect that into going deeper as opposed to going wider.
Yeah, finding variety inside.
Yeah.
Has been, that's huge.
Really key for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a ton of friends who started at the same time as me who are now 6 offers, 12 offers, 12 businesses down, and I'm like still tinkering, making the one big idea sharper, better, cooler. Yep. I love Frank Kern, but that dude's had some rebornings, whatever that word is.
Yeah, rebirths.
Rebirth. That's
Oh,
the
that one
real-
is the one. Reborning's good too. That's a Jason thing.
Yeah.
I think, so the Actionable's 18 years old, but that's how many years it's been around. But if you really think about it, it's probably like 6 years of actual growth and then a whole bunch of years of repeat.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
Let's talk about the business model now. I want to hear, what are you doing right now that's working in terms of marketing it, selling it, and then delivering it so clients win?
Sure. So for the first $1 million, we focused exclusively on that market of the $500,000 to $5 million consultant.
Yep.
And I got stuck at $600K forever. And then in the last 2 years, we've 4X'd that and grown through, which has been exciting.
Yeah. I'll come back to that.
Yeah. A key piece of it was staying really dialed in on that single niche until we got to the $1 million mark.
Yeah.
The way that we worked that group, or from an attraction standpoint, was largely LinkedIn and largely working on what I would call sort of manufactured viral lead magnets.
Manufactured viral lead magnets. Okay, unpack that.
Yeah, so I tried a bunch of lead magnets. They sort of kind of worked, not really.
Yeah.
What we realized was that our audience was very comfortable putting their hand up, in fact, wanted to put their hand up on LinkedIn for stuff that made them look like they were already in the elite group.
Yes.
So I positioned lead magnets that were around, this is what the bleeding edge consultant is doing in this space. I know you're a part of that, so comment if you want it, sort of thing.
Smart.
Yeah, so they were probably
Part lead magnet, part ego stroke.
Yeah, totally. And
Yeah.
so it attracted the right consultants in the first place.
Yeah.
And it spread virally through that. So that's been really big growth.
What are you doing on LinkedIn now?
Yeah, so we have 5 campaigns a year around that. So we do an insights report drop, which is that piece. And so there's a teaser build up, there's the drop, there's a short email sequence that drives people to a workshop.
Yep.
That goes deeper on that. And then the workshop is apply on the back end if you want to be considered for this.
Yeah.
We've really, I launched not a baby program, but a program for folks that are not at $500,000 yet.
Yep.
And that's given me a lot of confidence that we didn't do that till we got to $1 million.
Yeah.
That was my reward. You're getting to $1 million. I was allowed to launch a second program.
Yep.
And that program has given me a lot of confidence in being able to say, no, you don't qualify for the main program.
Yeah.
Which allows me to very confidently say to people, this is an application-based program.
Because there's
there's no false scarcity.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so that's been really helpful. And then it becomes a bit of a flywheel where the right people attract more right people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk sales.
Yeah.
As a cohort of clients in right now, are they sold on a call? Are they sold from the workshop? How does the sales process work?
Yeah, so it's a pretty basic 2-call sales process. We do a triage and a solutions call.
Yeah.
They have 2 paths for onboarding. They can either do dedicated onboarding or cohorted onboarding.
Yep. They choose?
No, not usually. So I recommend one or the other 2.
Okay.
So yeah, because we're working, like, a consultant who's running a $500,000 company is different from a team dynamic than someone running a $5 million company.
Yeah.
So larger firms, dedicated onboarding.
Yeah, that's smart. Okay, I like that. And then delivery, is there anything that's you think is useful or tactical for people to learn in terms of what are you doing to help groups of clients win altogether?
Yeah, good question. So we're a little unique in the fact that we're sort of a software-enabled coaching business. So we built our own tech around proving the impact as training programs.
Yeah.
And so it's been this interesting blend of what do they really need? Is it technical training or is it mindset training, coaching as we go through this? The biggest thing we found is that the social shares just carry way more weight than Chris or anyone from Chris's team talking about how things work.
Yeah.
Let's just constantly bring in people for a spotlight session.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it's been interesting as the tech has matured. The technical training is very little. They don't need a lot of technical training. What they do need is a mindset shift around how the value that they are bringing to their client is not their delivery on site. It's around the impact they're creating.
Yeah.
It's a big mindset shift. So this is where we decided, when you and I started working together, that we weren't a technology company with some coaching. We were a coaching business that was powered by tech. Is that because we've chosen this consultant base as our client, they need mindset and team growth skills that they didn't have before.
Yeah, that's good. All right, I want to come back to this idea from before about I got stuck at a plateau.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's probably around the time that we started working together.
It was a little bit before, but we'll be close, yeah. We've hit 2 major stuck points. One was at 600K,
Yeah.
and then one was at about $1.5 million.
Okay, so what was the bottleneck in each?
I was the bottleneck in each. I need to say it out loud.
Yeah. Repeat after me.
Yeah, I mean, at the 600K level, what I was doing was bringing on this mile-wide, inch-deep client base. Like, we had about 26 different avatars. That's not an exaggeration of clients that we were serving.
Yeah, right.
And so my team couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
Because I had a one-to-one blueprint with each client.
Yeah.
And so we just got stuck. And I hired great people, and they burnt out because they were trying to get across Chris's brain, which is dangerous. Yeah, and so the first major decision was to just axe it down to what I thought was one avatar. Yeah. And it really was one core avatar. So that was the first, and that took us from 600 to 1.5.
I love it. And what happened at 1.5? Where'd you get started?
What Matt Burlack calls the growth ceiling. Basically, our new people coming in, we're matching our churn going out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's the perfect little guy problem, the too many avatars problem, and the net new is at 0 because ins and outs equal.
Yep.
What have you done to fix that? Did you focus on more in or stay longer or a bit of both?
A bit of both, and we doubled our prices. So that helped. Because now suddenly each one in is worth twice those leaving, or more in some cases.
Yeah.
So, and then the way we did that was actually simplifying our model. So we narrowed down to one avatar at the 600K mark, but we still had about 16 different ways that they could pay us. It was on a very complex sliding scale thing that simultaneously overwhelmed people and made the sales process very long. Great, yeah, totally. It was a win-win.
I can see why.
Yeah. So I couldn't keep any salespeople because they needed a PhD to figure this thing out. So So we just compressed it down to one pricing model, and it's an unlimited use of all the things.
Yeah.
And
What's the price?
It's $2,000, $2,500 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, well done.
you.
Thanks for owning up to the bottleneckness.
100%.
I mean, it was you, but it's also a tactical thing.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think the biggest thing that's changed for me, particularly in working with you now, is I know where the next bottleneck is coming, and it's probably about $500,000 a year out from now.
Yeah.
So I'm able to see it ahead of time.
What do you think?
600K, I'll come back to that.
Okay.
The 600K is...
It's only my show.
Let me tell you. I didn't realize I was at a bottleneck for 3 years probably.
Right.
The 1.5 million, I was aware of it and frustrated and worked to fix it quickly. This next one, I can see it coming. I think that's a big part of leaning into coaching.
So what is it?
The next bottleneck, I believe, is actually going to again be that growth ceiling of dollars in, dollars out.
Yep.
And so we need to get ahead of that through some enhanced marketing tactics and team growth on that side.
Yeah, I love it. What do you so why don't you just give us a quick snapshot? Where are we at right now? Because it started way back early.
Yep.
And it's gone through 600 and a mil and a half. Where are we at?
Is there a 2.5?
Dude, well done.
Thank you.
That's killer.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, it is. What are you proudest of?
Surviving.
Yeah.
So I had a business partner who went to jail. That was exciting. We had COVID happen and the training industry sort of shut down for a period of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, making it through those pieces and a lot of the, like when I look back on some of the decisions I made in my late 20s, it's like how did you think that was a good idea and how did that not kill the business? So there's an element to that.
So give us dumbest mistake.
Building out a 64-person team with about 180K in annual revenue.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, bought a software company, like a dev shop, when again, we had no revenue. Like,
But you can see the future.
yeah, totally. Or, we got to a place where our acquisition cost was about $25,000 per client and our annual revenue was about $8,000. And so then we tripled down on that strategy because that was working great.
Oh my God.
So, some of that stuff.
Hindsight.
Yeah.
All right. If you wanted to give us a couple of, I mean, we've already, they probably link to what we've already talked about, but lessons learned. If you give us like 2 or 3, if I was starting from scratch, this is what I would do differently.
Yeah. So I think there's a sort of lesson for myself 20 years ago is you're not as smart as you think you are.
Yeah.
And you are capable of moving faster than most people. So I had it flipped.
Yeah.
Where I thought I didn't need a coach, I didn't need a cohort, I didn't need a community. Because I was the guy.
Yeah.
And so I really wrestle with that sometimes, like the decade plus of my life that was
Spinning wheel.
Yeah. So I think, finding the people who are ahead of you. I was having a conversation with Josh Stone just before this around imposter syndrome and being in like this event that we're at, being the baby turtles in the room. And my comment to Josh, and I meant it, was that, the day that I don't feel imposter syndrome with the group, I'm probably not in the right group anymore.
Yeah.
So that's been a big shift.
Yeah, you want to play tennis with people who are better than you or you don't learn.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's been huge. And then again, I think, so I'm a maximizer on the strengths finder stuff, right? Which I've only recently realized has its sort of kryptonite edge to it.
So describe maximizer.
So a maximizer is basically seeking to optimize the return on anything that you're doing.
So to the infinite.
Yes, down to the infinite degree.
Yeah.
And so what that means in context to sales is I got this product, you don't quite fit that product, but I don't want to lose you because I want that revenue, so I'll create this modification.
Right.
Times every client.
Yeah.
And so I created mass overcomplication seeking that optimal return, which works against you because that's not how you get an optimal return. You get an optimal return by staying on the other, letting stuff go, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And so that took me a while to figure that out.
Yeah, man. What do you, when you think about the next year or 2 or 3, what are you most excited about?
I'm excited about my family benefiting from where we're at in the business. Like it's nice. Like I'm obviously seeing all the leading indicators. I'm seeing that they're going to see the benefits of it 6-12 months out, and I'm really excited about that.
Dude, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. Mine's good.
Thank you.
Coaches and coffee.
Love it.
We're done.